Welcome to the You Heard podcast, your go-to for Miami Hurricanes football. Ben, Joe, Polk, and CB break down recruiting, hot topics, and game day action.
All right, we'll talk about it at the end.
No, let's talk about this right now because he completely flipped it on me now.
I hate him for knowing this, bro. This man knew the brand, dog.
Okay, I don't appreciate that. I'm saying, like, I don't appreciate.
What are we talking about, son?
Get into it, talk. I felt
Keeping it a buck.
Let me close these curtains real quick.
You heard. Hey, you see it. I'm by myself today, guys. You know what I'm saying? Just kicking and hanging out. My guy Joey's traveling, stuck in some inclement weather. You know what I mean? And there's your You Heard report for the day. How y'all feeling, man? How y'all feeling? Everybody's rolling in. Got 14 in here right now. Hope y'all good. I always forget to say this every time. Make sure you like, share, subscribe, the whole nine. Keep growing the channel. Helps us grow. Helps us keep the lights on, man. Without y'all, we ain't nothing, man. Appreciate everybody who checks out the show, man. Appreciate y'all so much. How's everybody feeling, man? Look, I was on earlier with Michael Yo. Shout out to him, man. Comics on Kegs. Make sure you subscribe. And talked a little bit about the coaching staff and the possible changes and the craziness of the coach's transfer portal. But how y'all feel about it, man? Like, there's a lot of rumors swirling, right? Possibly about KB, about Will Harris, maybe jumping to the league. KB smoke about maybe going to Syracuse. I don't want to say smoke. KB mentions and shit like that, but we'll see. Got my guy CB on the road right now in Houston. You know what I'm saying? Jumping on. Let me get him on here. What up, CB? How you doing, brother?
What's up, Brody? Can you hear me good?
Yes, sir. You sound fantastic, man. First of all, it's a great picture.
Good. I don't know why the audio not going to my headphones, but if you can hear me good, we good.
Can you hear us is the question.
Yeah, I can hear you, but for some strange reason, hold on. Let me try to figure this out.
Figure it out over there. You know what I'm saying? CB, shout out to my brother CB jumping on, man, on the road home. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Kicking it. I was gonna kick it solo dolo, but you know, CB always around. Appreciate that.
I couldn't let you go solo, dog.
Hey, you know, appreciate it. It's always weird chopping it up with you like this because there's like no snacks involved, and I don't really like.
It's very weird. It's very disconnected.
Yeah, it's like I don't know if it's actually you or if this is just like some AI-ish. You know what I mean? It was like an AI version of you.
Aren't I basically always?
Yeah, you kind of are. You got
always a mystery where you can't quite tell if it really is me or not.
There's always a 50% chance.
I can hear you good.
All right, your audio changed up a little bit though, but we'll figure it out. Actually, sounded better before.
I sounded better before.
No, you good now. All right, CB, okay. What you think? Let's just jump right in, man. I got a question. What you think about? We talked about it in the chat. You know what I'm saying throughout the week or whatever. All this Will Harris to the league, KB possibly leaving. Which one you want to start off with? You want to go with KB or the Will Harris smoke? Will Harris mentions or rumors? I want to say rumors, right? Because it's lies type. He's offering cap right now.
Let's go with KB because the Will Harris thing seems like it's more smoke than anything else and some disgruntled Florida fans. Also, I have a joke about that, though.
What's the joke? Wait, is that an apron?
Yeah.
That's fucking dope, yo. I respect you. Grilling?
I'm
you
grilling.
Oh, okay. Okay, I respect it. Okay. I didn't know they made aprons that big, if I'm being honest. I'm just keeping it a buck. It's a big ass apron, yo. Is it
Hey, what's on the grill? What's on the grill, Polk?
I got sliders.
Making me hungry, dog.
Damn, I was about to say, bro, that shit just made me hungry.
That shit just my stomach just went blub, blub, blub. Time to eat, brother.
Yeah, that shit sounds good as hell.
All right, let's lock in. All right, what you thinking, CB? Go. You want to go with the KB? Let's go.
All right, I just I'll see you later.
All right, brother, keep grilling.
Love you, Polk.
Love you, brother.
Man, I bet he throwing down. No, Polk throwing down.
He got an apron
so the
on, dog. My dog don't fuck around.
I feel like the KB thing has some layers to it that we didn't initially know. Because when it first started coming out, obviously, much like Twitter news, it's just a vague KB gone. So then you gotta try to back channel, and we all got our different. Either some of us got on-3, some of us got 24/7. So we all trying to hit every message board we can, just to see what Gabby's saying. Low key, it's like what Gabby's saying. But then the more that started to come out, it was he's out of contract is the latest kind of rumor. And then obviously I think I'm not breaking any news that the rumor is Syracuse. I'll get into in a second why that's a little bit worrying. They've done a decent job in South Florida, so with KB, it's a little worrying. And there's a really good receiver that wants to play some offense or wants to play some basketball. So a little worried about that. But we talked about it in the group chat. I'm of the opinion that I don't want to lose KB for several reasons. One, it's 2 weeks before spring, and I get it. He's not the head coach. He's not the OC. He's not the DC. So please, no one in the chat. I understand. But as a former receiver, this happened to me going into my senior year. We switched receiver coaches. He left to take an OC job somewhere. It changes your individual period. Some guys may emphasize footwork. Some guys may emphasize how you run routes. KB teaches a particular release. It's that hop, step, hesitation release. Another receiver coach might not like that. So you're having to unlearn while you're learning in the spring. And the spring is kind of your time to try to shine and earn your role, especially because there's so much up in the air in the receiver room. We don't know who, is going to emerge. So having to learn a new style of what the receiver coach wants for you could be a little bit troubling, but it's not detrimental to the team. But from my lane, I've never talked to a receiver that hasn't absolutely loved him. I'm talking about kids. I've been interviewing a kid that's committed to Illinois. He still want to make sure he talks about KB real quick.
Yep.
Like, they love him, and they always say how genuine he is. It's not even football. It's how genuine he is. I mean, that part I don't want to lose because there's something special about that, man. There's something special about a recruiter that can make kids feel not just wanted, but like when the phone rings, he not trying to sell you nothing. Sometimes he just wants to check on you to see how you're doing. How's mom? I heard your aunt, you know what I'm saying, had to get a triple bypass. I'm just checking to make sure she's good. That stuff is invaluable, man. It really recruits the parents more so than it recruits the kid. Because the parents start going, man, like this dude genuine. He not even calling you to be like, I got 10 more racks for you and I can get you 100 catches. He calling you on some, how was that test you said was difficult?
Yep.
So just from a recruiting perspective, I would hate to lose that. Where do you land on it? Where do you land on potentially losing Coach?
Coach KB, man, is the alumni stuff and the fact that he put all that stuff, on his resume, put it to the side. To lose him this close, and you said something towards right on my mind, to lose him this close before spring, when the room is so up in the air, right? And the only one that has knowledge of these players, right? Like to that extent, to that level. Yes, coach, yada yada, but that knows the intricacies and how he's been teaching a Chance, a JoJo from last year, a Nikar from last year. Already has to lose that this close. Keeping it a buck is why we made fun of and trolled Florida on Sunday, right? Losing Will Harris because that sets them back. Like regardless of how you said that, you're gonna bring in a new position coach that teaches that position differently. Might have you for the DB room, might have you switch. You know what I'm saying? Play more off man than you would have in a press coverage. would test your feet differently and all that shit. So all these different things. I've been learning a little bit. I mean, I've been learning. I listen to the people. You know what
Hey,
I'm saying? Like
you cooking? Go ahead.
those different things, man. Like so just late, and not just like the recruiting thing. You got the visits lining up and all that stuff aside, but just for the players that are going to be there in spring, for possibly a week to 10 days before he leaves, he could possibly leave, and then you got to learn everything. I'm saying like that whole room could be different. We talked about it, right? Like who are the players that if you let's go hypothetical. If he does leave, you bring in a new position coach, right? You bring in a new position coach. He might not like the guys or favor the guys that are in that room now. Then what? Right?
He may have a different style of receiver he likes.
Exactly. These guys are, for the most part, unproven, right? Don't have much experience. So where does that leave? Yes, it's business and all they get paid. Yeah, these are still like players at different positions succeed with different coaches and at different schools. Like not, you know what I'm saying? Like you could go somewhere and ball out and go somewhere else and be straight trash if you have the wrong coach. Like those things happen. So to lose him, that's what would bother me about losing him. Like if this was a upper classroom when I had a ton of experience, I wouldn't feel the same. CB, I'm gonna keep it a buck. Like if we had a guy
like it was last year. This
was last year, yeah, I wouldn't have the same sentiments. Like, oh man, that sucks to lose, but we got a bunch of experienced guys in the room. Just need somebody in here, not be crazy. We got a bunch of unknowns and question marks, straight kids in that room right now. Besides CJ, right? That's it. CJ Denny. That's it. That's the only one with experience for the most part in that room. With top 5, top 6 receivers left. You know what I'm saying? From Damian Martinez, Elijah, all that production has to be replaced. So then what do you do? He's like the one position coach that I don't want to lose because of that. Other guys are yeah.
No, keep going. Go ahead.
No, that's what would like because of the unknowns, and you know me and you go back and forth agreeing on. We already didn't rotate guys last year because if JoJo and Nye and Chance got suspended last year, not saying injuries and all these things aside, then what happens? Then it's different. I'm like, all right, we got some guys coming up. We're good. We have a bunch of like one highlight up from JoJo, not much from Nye, not much in 3 years from Ray. So it's like, what do we have to lean on to be like? Oh no, there's a leader in that room. No, we don't know we have.
We have
no. We have no. I don't know. We got a shoulder shrug. I got nothing. I don't know what's in that room. I don't know what's in that room. So,
I think you brought up a great point too. That when it is, Coach KB knows these guys. So sometimes it's about a coach that believes in you. So a new receiver coach may look at a receiver and go, he's not what I like on paper. And Coach KB may agree on paper, but he may believe in that kid.
Yep.
And say, yeah, Chance don't run a 4.3, but I believe in him enough to where I'm giving him a shot. You lose that belief. Another great point you made is small intricacies. We changed our DB coach. And we got a new DB. It's going to blow people. Some people mind the chat used to play DB, and it blew my mind playing corner. This man came in and didn't want us face up and press man no more, backpedaling. He wanted us to be sideways, shoulder to the line of scrimmage. He wanted us to shuffle instead of backpedal. Dog, I was getting cooked in our first 2 scrimmages because I couldn't. I was like, bro, I've been taught to do M drills and backpedal. This shuffling shit was killing me, Ben. Like, dog, it was so bad that after the second scrimmage, I had my mentor. He's one of the best DBs in the history of Adobe. He's like my big brother. I called him to come on a Saturday to work with me. We working on the shuffling shit, and Mike said, you know what, bro? I'm gonna tell you something, dog. Well, I don't care what you call it. You play off man and you backpedal because you smooth, but you not smooth with this fucking shuffling shit.
I don't even understand how that would work. Like just picturing it.
So you basically parallel to the receiver. So instead of being face up to the receiver, you got your shoulder to him and you shuffle out and then flip your hips. Dog, when I say I could not do that to save my life, Ben, and it was a total change of how he wanted man coverage. We played a 4-2-5, and we was out there on an island. So now we're going to be on an island. I'm playing a new position, and what I know from the position I can't use. Dog, when I say it took, I think it was in like the second game, he finally told me like, all right, you can play off with your eyes to the quarterback, and you can backpedal. Because I taught, bro, listen, bro, I'm not even recruited. You're going to get me negatively recruited, dog. Like, I am not about to play anymore. Like, this is it.
This is it.
It's little stuff like that. It's the little intricacies that may change. I like big body receivers. I don't care for straight line speed. I like big guys that can contest catches and box out. So everyone has their own style. Look at the running back room. When Coach Merritt came in, our recruiting board completely changed.
Yes, it did.
He wanted a different style running back. So what was on our recruiting board at the time, it looked like Byron Lewis was a slam dunk. It looked like, Alvin Henderson was a slam dunk. Merritt comes in and says, all right, I'm offering Pringle off the rip, and that's my RB1 in the class. It completely changed the style of running back we were going for. So I think it is important, if we do lose a position coach this close to spring, that is at least someone that shares similar philosophy with Coach Kevin Beard. Because if not, I think it's hard to unlearn while you're learning. You're trying to learn this dude's style while you unlearning all the muscle memory that's been built into your body from Coach Kevin Beard.
Yep.
Think about Ray. It's gonna be his third year in this offense. He's a Coach KB built and bred receiver at this point.
Yeah.
Everything you do and don't do on the football field is what Coach KB has instructed him to do. So that part worries me. No, I'm not worried. I'm not worried to the point where I think we're gonna have a terrible season or anything like that. It's just that it's young receivers already. We don't have our veteran quarterback in the spring, and now it's going to be a new voice in the room. So it is a bit worrying.
It's a lot. It's a lot on offense. Yeah,
it's a lot. Yeah.
When a week ago we were talking about like how the whole offensive staff is still there, just lost the offensive analyst and Coach Cooney. You know what I'm saying, and possibly losing, because. I don't know. I don't feel like it's going to happen. You know what I mean? I feel like there's a co-OC position right there, you know what I mean, for him to get and more money. You know what I mean? Like, if you evaluate, he's already showed you his work ethic in 2 years. It would bother me a lot if he left. It really would.
Yeah,
and look, I know the chat is saying, like, oh, he's, the elite wide receivers still go to Ohio State. You got to go with, like, the historic, you know what I'm saying, historically, like, that's a lot of grandfathered in of Ohio State, and they just won the Natty.
Yeah, that's not his fault. That's not his fault.
That's not Coach KB's fault. You know what I'm saying, in any way. To think that anybody, and we talked about it, like my guy would be Leonard Hankerson, right? My if he goes, but to think that anybody from the league is coming to college, it would be a huge stretch. It would be a couple of people saying Reggie Wayne. It would be a huge stretch. I also don't want, you know what I mean? Like I see Lamar Thomas. I want guys with already years of experience at that coaching that position, not just another alumni. You know what I mean? Like I don't want that to ever be the prerequisite or a requirement to be a coach at Miami. I want the best part. If you can't go get Leonard Hankerson, you go get him. Like you go get him, pay him what he wants, bring him home for a year, and maybe he could bounce up and, you know what I'm saying, be an OC or some shit like that. Then I'm fine with it. But go get me that if KB leaves. I wanted it was Hank and KB for me when the last position coach.
You gotta want to recruit on this staff.
Yeah.
And when I say want to recruit, I don't mean like, yeah, the kids will like him. I'm talking about taking a red eye.
Yeah.
At the last second to go see a kid because Norvell just talked to him, so now we need to go talk to him. I'm talking about when the clock strikes 12:01 and we can talk to sophomores in the next class. Text needs to be sent out.
Yeah,
I'm not
for the big time, guys.
I'm not telling you what somebody told me. I'm telling you what I know.
Talk to them.
They own these. They when at 12:01, when it's time to talk to the next class, they start sending texts. I'm telling you, because I've had kids literally tell me. So you gotta want to recruit, and some NFL guys don't want to be on the road like that. They don't want to be visiting high schools. They don't want to be sitting on grandma's couch. It's a different style of coaching. So sometimes we got to be careful being like, oh, let's get this NFL guy. He probably in the league because he don't want to deal with some of the stuff you got to deal with in college.
Yeah.
And when we talk about some of the top receivers, look, I get it. Question is, why didn't we land JJ? Why didn't we? But look at the receivers that Ohio State has put in the NFL recently in the first round. That's not KB's fault. That is a young man going, how do I get to the league the fastest and the most efficient? I do what Garrett Wilson did. I do what Jackson Smith and Jigba did. We can go on. And I can hate that team. So I don't even like giving them these kind of props. But sometimes you just got to call a spade a spade. A quarterback is going to want to go play for Lincoln Riley because he develops quarterbacks. It has nothing to do with the fact that they love USC more than they love another school. It's how do I get to the league and who gets me to the league? Why do you think no matter where they from in the country, the top offensive linemen will always have us in their top 10?
Yep, top 6, top 3. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We may not end up getting, but I guarantee you Jackson Cantwell got us in his top schools because of Mario and Mirabal.
Mm-hmm.
So that's like a school. That's like schools from outside being like, dawg, how do we lose him to Miami when our staff, it don't got nothing to do with your staff. It is an offensive lineman trying to figure out how does he prepare himself best for the league. Corners going to LSU is not because they got some Tiger pride. It's because Corey Raymond gonna get you ready. And an NFL team that sees you were developed by Corey Raymond assumes he can ball. Back in the day, if you were a linebacker, you took your tail to Penn State because having that on your resume meant something when you went to the league. So let's not hammer Coach KB for not landing JJ and Ryan Wingo. And sometimes the story is a bit more complex than just he's not close. And let's not forget that Ohio State wanted Chance Robinson. Michigan wanted Chance Robinson. Ole Miss wanted Chance Robinson. Ohio State wanted JoJo. There was people trolling us on Saturday. He gonna flip with JJ. He gonna flip with JJ. So let's not. He flipped Nye Carr from the reigning national champions Georgia.
Yes,
so let's not act like the guy can't recruit now.
Yeah, or develop.
But you need proof of concept. You gotta have proof of concept. What was he gonna tell people that first year? Trust me. You need proof of concept. Now he can go into living rooms and say, bro, we have the number one offense. And that's why Chris Henry Jr. is coming to visit. But it takes time. Lincoln Riley didn't just show up and all the quarterbacks wanted to play for him. He developed Kyler. He developed Baker. And then the quarterbacks were like, you know what? Let me go mess with him. It takes time.
Backing up asked, how high of a priority was he though to those schools who already had a loaded wide receiver class we were looking to add? The argument can't be both, right? Like he was committed and he was a take, and then he gets like when we flip and when we flip Mark Fletcher or any Jordan Lyle, when we flip those people, their takes at those schools, but the recruiting happens at every level. Like it's not like, oh, but look who we lost. It can't. This is the game of recruiting, and all of this, and Juan Manuel said it. All of this is a soap opera. You're dealing with high school kids, man. Like and they're being offered money to the level they were never thought possible 6 years ago. This shit is changing faster for them than it is for us because we don't even know the bags they're being offered. Like we're not even in those conversations.
Let's remember, these kids have agents now in high school. Yes. So sometimes the agent may funnel you to where the bag is bigger because of what his cut is. Sometimes that agent has a relationship. Sometimes your 7-on-7 guy got a relationship with a certain staff, and he is supposed to funnel people that way. So recruiting is not as simple as a lot of people like to make it out to be.
No,
It's not. It's not 2008 no more. It ain't just who I love, I'm going to play for that coach. I guarantee you there's kids at other staffs right now that love Coach KB more than they love their receiver coach. I guarantee you there's offensive linemen on other staffs that love Mario more than they love where they're at. But where they at for a reason. I know for a fact. I ain't gonna put nobody on blast. I can tell you a couple offensive linemen right now that love our staff more than where they at.
Yeah.
But right. The kid that flipped from Oregon to Texas, I forget his name, but his direct quote was they had a better NIL package. Now
Yeah,
I
the
love
lineman,
the coaches more.
Yeah, the D
Now
lineman.
I love the scheme more. It was very simple. It was the package was better. So nowadays it's different, man. It is different. So I don't think you can crucify him for that. I do think it's fair. All criticism is fair. So it is fair to ask, why ain't we landing this person? Why aren't we landing this? That is completely fair. And to hold him accountable. But we got to stop with the, if we didn't get him, or if we flipped him, that must have meant he wasn't a take at his school. And then if somebody flips from us, he wasn't a take here. Committable offers are committable offers, full stop. So if a kid commits, he's a take. There's two type of offers. There's a committable offer and one that's not committable yet. So if a kid commits, he is allowed to, meaning he is a take. So if he flips after being verbally committed, that old school cannot say he wasn't a take. They would not have allowed him to commit if he wasn't a take.
There was that player a couple years ago that committed with the non-committable offers. Like, hey man, you better take that graphic down. Yeah,
you remember that?
Yeah, better take that. Yeah, take that graphic down right now. I don't remember names, and I don't know. He went to like an SEC school. It doesn't matter. Greg, no, we're not saying he's leaving. We're just saying the hypothetical because there is some rumors swirling around that Syracuse is hovering, trying to give him a contract. You know what I mean? Try to rip him away because it would be a big time get for them. Because Syracuse is making some big time inroads in South Florida, as they know there's a big wide receiver year in Florida. Let's see what we got here.
Nothing's confirmed yet, but it is heavily rumored by our beat writers, by 24/7 that covers Miami, by On3, and then on their side too. So the Syracuse boards and the Syracuse writers are talking about it as well. So there's smoke. Like there's fire there. Whether or not he actually leaves, no one knows for sure. I will say the longer it plays out, the more I feel favorable in the situation. Because I would assume Syracuse wants to get him in as soon as possible. So the more time it takes, the more I feel feel favorable.
The longer we just hear like little tweets and little whispers, but no official documentation or no, hey man, thank you for everything. I feel good about it because the closer we get to spring, I feel like that's kind of locked in. Plus, the out of contract happens all the time. Last year, Coach Dawson was out of contract because it was like a 1-year deal, and nobody ever got told that he was signed. He just kind of kept working.
Yeah, he just kept working.
And I was talking about that with Michael Yo earlier. I was like, it's what they did with the DC this offseason is rare for what they've actually done. They never tell you. They never let you know until like spring game kickoff, spring ball kickoff, when they're like, oh yeah, these are our coaches now. So then you just get rumors and like, oh, this could be our guy. You don't get an official statement from the University of Miami till the day of, basically, where you get to interview them. So, again, as long as there's not much going on as far as official things or anything's changed while we're talking, you know what I mean? I don't feel any stress about it. And I don't feel any stress about the Will Harris thing. He's sending out offers as we speak.
Yeah, he offered a couple kids today. I feel like here's my joke with that though. If he really going to the league, bro, that means he knew he was going to the league. That means he said, "Look, I can't be in Florida I can't do it. I can't stay here for another 2 weeks. I can't. I know I'm not staying at my next school, but I gotta get out of here. I got to go." That man knew he was dead. If he really leave, that tells me Florida was so bad that he was like, I ain't even staying for another 2 weeks, fam. I can't. I can't.
I can't do it.
Smells weird, y'all. Weird. I'm out.
Yeah, I can't do this no more. I can't do this.
But
Yeah,
he's on the
that's
trail.
fantastic.
He's on the trail hard. So I'm less worried about that rumor.
Now, speaking of defensive backs, and you're driving safe currently. You have what a lot of us call a seatbelt. You know, you currently have a seatbelt on safely. Now, speaking of seatbelt, he did move up his weekend. You know what I mean? His official visit weekend. When literally 2 days ago he was like, "Yo, I'm there from the 13th to the 15th or whatever." Today he's like, "Nah, I'm coming the 6th."
Coming to 6.
Yeah. Now, CB, you as a person of who you are, you know, don't have to give anything away. And you never do, and we never will. That's not who we are, even though we know things that people think we don't know. Is that as you are driving safely currently? Would you say that's a good thing or a negative thing that he moved up his visit that was already locked in, moved it up by a week? What would you say?
I think it's a good sign. I think it's a really good sign. For me, that's probably a really good indication that Harris ain't going anywhere, to be honest with you. For two, to me, it seems I'm trying not to say anything because you know somebody gonna be like, "But CB said." Yeah. It seems like. Let me ask you a question, right? If I know for a fact, man, I'm gonna trade this car in. I want the new one. I'm gonna wait for it. I'm gonna trade it at the end of the month. But then I'm thinking about it. I'm like, well, if I know I'm trading it in, let me just do it now. That's what it feels like to me. It feels like, man, let me just bump this up, dog. Let me do this a little bit earlier. It also, I'd like to see the visit list for the 6th. It could be a situation where, you know, sometimes they like to give a kid the most attention, so maybe there was a lot of people coming on the 13th because, you know, when you OV nowadays, that's the only time you can take your visit photos and whatnot. So it could be a situation where they're like, all right, Seatbelt, we want you here by yourself. Like we want you to have we want you to have a whole day with Harris, a whole day with Zach, a whole day with Rumph. Like we want you here by yourself for a full day so that you can get the full. I believe they did that with either Lightfoot or Scott back in the day too, where they had moved theirs to where it was like just them there that day.
Yeah, there were like a couple other people. Yeah,
where it was so low key, but they got all the attention. So it could be that there's some other Armwood kids as well. So it could be a situation where he's.
Or could be the
opposite. Yes. Where he's trying to come with the rest of the class. It could be that too. But it's to me, it's a good sign. If you coming earlier, to me, that's a good sign. Now, the only thing that would have been a bad sign is if he just postponed until further notice. That would I'd have been like, damn it, he going back to Florida. But because he moved it up, that kind of seems like, let me go ahead and get this done with. Now, and that's pure speculation. Yes, I know the kid. Yes, I talked to the kid. No, I haven't talked to him about this. I'm gonna keep it a book with y'all. I'm not gonna lie to y'all. Yeah, I have not talked to him about why he moved his OV up. But just from a recruiting standpoint, it seems like it's a great sign that he decided. Because think about it. At this point, he already met the new coaches. He sat down with them. They watched film together. They talked about how he could be used in the scheme and whatnot. So you got to ask yourself at this point, why does he? You know, he's probably thinking to himself, why do I need to wait? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it could be a situation where why do I need to wait? Or you got a good point, Ben. It could be, oh, X, Y, and Z's coming on the 6th. I want to be there when they're there too. Yeah. It could be that as well.
I haven't looked at like the lineup, and I know they've dropped all their graphics, but I need to see it like in a you know what I'm saying? On a list format. Like I want to know if that's the weekend that like Darian Coleman's going to be there.
That's a great point.
If he's gonna be there, then like, do you have them build a relationship and a friendship, you know what I mean, and stuff like that?
I check to see too. I'm gonna check this when we get off here too. You know he plays with Raw.
Yeah.
So I wonder maybe does some of the other Raw kids have a OV that week, and they probably like, let's mob together. You know what I'm saying? Like, I know there's another DB at Armwood that we're interested in. So it could be a situation where it's like, all right, let's get down there together as a squad. Or he could be recruiting. He could have asked his to be moved up because he know who coming on the 6th. And he's like, let me be there when they're there. So it could be that kind of situation too.
Yeah, a lot of things go into official visits, right? Like knowing the player, knowing the kid, knowing the family. When like grandma might not have been able to make it that trip, or his, you know what I mean, whoever his uncle is, whoever like that type of situation is, to line it all up to like make sure the entire family is there.
His parents are very much involved in his recruiting. Like, he's got a great set of parents. They handle a lot of that stuff for him. If you may not know his pops in the chat, but
pops on Twitter or
better. Is that me? Is CB froze for y'all? I mean,
am I back? Am I back?
You bet. You bet.
Because I just got home, so it connected to the Wi-Fi. So it could be a situation like you said, Ben, where maybe maybe that wasn't a good date for his parents. Maybe his parents needed a later date because they needed to be off at a certain time.
Yeah.
It could be a few things. I didn't think about that. That's a great point. It just could be a situation where moms couldn't get off, or you know what I'm saying? Like we started this by saying recruiting is not always as simple as no, I'm saying you can't see me. Yeah, sometimes it's not as simple.
There we go. There you go.
As you know, he pushed it back so he not coming, or pushed it forward so he not coming. It could be something as small as, oh man, moms couldn't get off, or dad couldn't get off on this day, so we pushed it up. But to me, it's a good sign. It would be a bad sign if he canceled it. If he canceled it, I'd be like, oh.
Yeah, if he canceled it, it'd be tight. Yeah, he didn't cancel it. He moved it up, which is never a bad sign. But yeah, man, CB, before we get up out of here, we're going to keep this one short today. What are your biggest questions going? We're 12 days out, right? Spring ball kicks off March 3rd before the 2-week break for spring break. What are your biggest questions on the offensive side? Outside, let's do it like this. Outside of the wide receiver room, because we know that's big time because of the all the young ones.
I want to see what some of the swing offensive linemen could look like. I think we all have a little bit of an idea on what the 5 is, but I want to see what Pancake looks like. I want to see what Plaz looks like. I want to see what Bruno looks like. I want to see what Juan Manaya looks like. That one, and then the battle for who's next up at quarterback is going to be fascinating.
Yeah.
Judge been in the system for a year. Luke is new to the system.
Yeah.
It's going to be very interesting to see what does that look like, because essentially Luke, Emery, and Judd are essentially playing for next year. They are auditioning for next year. So I'm curious to see what that battle looks like, and that next man up on the offensive line. Does Bruno take it? Does Pancake start fulfilling some of that promise that we have for him? Does Juan Manaya come? That dude's huge, but you know what I'm saying? Does he come into his red shirt freshman year looking like a Nez Cooper? Does Plaz take the step forward? I think those are two position groups that I'm just really interested to see how it plays out. What about you?
I'm most interested to see Emery's mentality, and his Emery's mentality. Because look, we say all we say as content creators and as fans, but this is still a person playing for his future, right? Like at the end of the day, so. What is his mentality going to be like in spring? Is it going to be, oh, well, they all poo-pooed me because of my bowl game performance? Like, let me show them? Or is it going to be, man, you know what? I think I might be done here because they brought in another transfer. Let me just get a tape and move on, which is totally fine either way.
Yeah, it's fair either way.
That's the business of it. And I'm interested to see if, and it sounds crazy, right? I'm interested to see if Jordan Lyle takes that next step.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
know,
That's actually quiet as kept. I think we're all kind of silently thinking, "Damn,
yeah,
like this dude might be like for real, for real."
yeah.
Like
And
we
it's
all
crazy because
love
like,
Mark Fletcher. I
and
think that goes
it's not
without
to be,
saying.
yeah, yeah.
We
It's not to be
love
like,
Mark
it's
Fletcher.
not like, oh, I'm ready to move on. Absolutely not. But like, what is that? What is that 1-2 punch? Because Jordan Lyle has that breakaway. We
Yes,
saw with the 92-yard rush. Like he has that. If Mark can get the bruising side of it, you know what I mean, and lock that down and play big and play strong, whew, and
that's a
then
good one. That's a
throw in
really
a
good one,
Pringle
Bim.
and
And
throw in a
yeah, yeah,
Pringle, who just to be like, oh, y'all thought he was quick. Watch me. Bop, bop, bop. Like, you know what I mean? Beep, 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 bop.
that's a
Gone.
that's a really
That's
good one because we saw how confident he was as a true freshman.
yeah.
So
The
he
injury,
may
dog.
walk
You
in the
can't.
spring like I'm that dude. Like, you know what
He
I'm
didn't have a
saying?
spring. He didn't have a spring
I
last year.
forgot about that. He wasn't even an early enrollee last year.
No,
I
no.
forgot about that.
No, he was coming up. No, he was. He was an early enrollee the year before. This is his third year going into Kane.
I'm
But
talking
he
about
did.
Lyle. Lyle.
Oh yeah, Lyle didn't have a spring, and Mark didn't have a spring last year because of the
Yeah,
foot.
yeah, because because he was banged up. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah,
You're
yeah,
right. Damn, I forgot about that.
yeah. So remember, we didn't have well, we had like Chris Wheatley Humphrey and CJ taking most snaps, which is why we had Elijah Austin being our starting running back. We were so banged up at the running back position. Like this is it, Lyle gets a
You're
full
right.
spring, Lyle gets a full spring, and Mark gets a full spring with a full spring with Matt Merritt. You know what I'm saying? Matt Merritt.
That's another good point. That's
You know what I
another
mean?
good
Like
point. He came
those
in
are
so
big
late.
time
Yeah.
things. Yeah, it came in so late. He came on later, yeah, but like now he has a full off season. You know what I mean? Has a full spring in the workout. All those like what does that Jordan Lyle look like? Is what I'm most interested in. Those two. Obviously, outside of the wide receiver, we can talk about the wide receiver room for 87
Yeah.
minutes straight.
I feel like the wide receiver room and the DB room are just easy. We're
Yeah,
all on pins and needles trying to figure out what the DB room is going to look
yeah,
like.
hundred
But I
percent.
never thought about the fact that Lau has a full off season now. He's actually going to have a spring. Matt Merritt's going to have a full spring. Fletcher is going to have a full spring.
Yep.
No nagging injuries, not banged up from high school. Because a lot of times it's not just the injuries; it's that this dude carried the ball 20 times a game in high school, so he may be a little bit banged up when he come in early. You know what I'm saying? We saw that last year when there's some ticky tack injuries for some of our true freshmen that were a little bit hard for them to get over during the season because every one of these guys was that dude in high school.
Yeah.
So you're playing through some stuff, through some aches and pains.
Chris Willie, a non-factor. I don't hear his name enough. He's tough. We're not saying he might be that. He might be that guy. And I want every guy. Understand? I want every running back we have to be that guy. We've seen
Yes.
what 40 running backs look like. But
We love
what
Hellcat
will
here.
he get the snaps? You know what I'm saying? Will he get the snaps? What will he look like this offseason? A little banged up last year, recover. You know what I mean? Like, what will he look like this offseason? It's big time. Is his body going to be stronger and healthier? Or is he still going to have the quickness? The man ran for like 7,000 yards in 2 seasons.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
And,
what does
and
that do
guys
to his
like that,
body? And what
there you
know what I'm
go.
saying?
I was
Like,
gonna say guys like that again. They coming in and it's yeah, man. I've been nursing the ankle all year, but the squad needed me, so I had to play on it.
exactly.
And then let's remember, Chris was an athlete. Chris played corner. He played receiver. He played
Yeah.
wildcat quarterback. So it could have been a situation where all right, let's get him in the weight room and our training regiment, and let's let him focus on running back. I'm excited to see him this year too. I am. I'm excited to see the whole backfield. I mean, we got no AJ Allen's gone,
Mhm.
Damian Martinez is gone, no CJ. So there's some spots to be had, man. There's some spots to be had.
You think we add one? We'll talk about like if we add one after spring. We'll talk about that. We got plenty of time to talk about that on another show. Defensive side, like you just said it, defensive backfield. We're not putting that in the question mark because we'll do that show on Sunday. You know what I mean? Like as to all the breakdown, like all the questions we have on that. Outside of the defensive back, because that's what the whole chat and everybody's been talking about. What's your biggest questions going into spring?
Linebacker.
Mm-hmm.
It looks like only two may play in this defense.
Yeah.
Which two?
Yeah.
We
How
got
much rotation? How like I don't you know what I don't want to see? I don't want to see my middle linebacker cover a running back and then be asked to get the next snap. You know what I'm saying?
unless it's a speed guy. We got a speed guy in that room.
Yeah, but I still don't want him running 60 yards on the field.
Yeah, 60 yards,
Not,
yeah. And then and then stomp
like,
on the very next play.
yeah,
Hey, we
exactly.
just fourth down stop, bro.
Cover this A gap real quick. Let's see what you talk about.
Yeah,
like,
but
we got Popo for that.
So I want to see who's the two, because there's a lot of talent in that room.
Yeah,
There's some guys coming back from last year. How does Darius Hayes look with a year under his belt in the system? The freshman coming in, Wiley. Everyone's kind of overlooking Marcelin, who's fantastic at Miami Central. They don't give you that 4 at Miami Central if you adjust another guy.
Facts.
You don't get that 4 unless you like that.
Yeah.
And then does Popo take the next step? How does West look in a new scheme? I'm very curious to see what linebacker looks like. Cameron Bobby Pruitt,
Does he get
who that kid looks like he's gonna be something special for us. So I want to see what he looks like.
Wiley.
You know what I'm saying? Who steps up? You ask 10 Kane fans, you're gonna get 5 different linebacker sets.
Yeah, and it's nice to have that problem, and it's nice to be like all of the you'd be like, oh, that makes sense. I can't argue. Really any of them, right? Like, there's not one to be like, I mean, are you crazy? What you mean you gonna put him out there? Like, no, yeah.
You can tell somebody against Notre Dame, it's gonna be Kellen Wiley and Popo in the middle, and they'll go, okay. I mean, not my, but okay, yeah, I see it.
All right, I see it. I see it.
Yeah. You can tell them 6'5" of Darius Hayes, who runs like a safety, is gonna get a lot of play time this year, and someone will go, oh, yeah, I see it. I mean, we flipped them for a reason. We ain't flipped them so we could hang out with them. We flipped them for a reason. Yeah. So that one's curious to me, bro. I want to see who emerges as them 2 linebackers.
Yeah.
What you got?
I'm gonna go the defensive tackle rotation.
Ooh, I was gonna go there. Yeah. It's curious.
We can do like, I don't know. I don't want to bring in like this Bane movement side argument, because I think that's a whole different topic and conversation. But like, what does that top 4 to 5 look like? Because they're going to rotate them. That's the position you rotate. Is it Ahmad Moten? Is it Justin Scott? Who's behind that? Is it the David Blay, the transfer? Is he going to get those snaps? Because remember, we got multiple transfers last year, and there was another one there was the guy that we got from NC State that was it Hort that didn't play much of it all, right? The
5,
big body
right?
guy. Yeah, 5. He didn't play. He didn't play much at all. So, you know what I'm saying? Like, we'll see what happens with that. But that's defensive tackles. Defensive ends is a different conversation, because I prefer the speed guy on that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't want both my ends to be over. I don't know. Like, I don't want both my ends to be 300 plus. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Who's the speed guy? You get what I'm saying? It was like I
agree too.
And I'm not saying that like this is what he needs to do, or like this is a hill I'm dying on, but I think in packages you start getting Ruben Bain tape on the inside. Like, I think that's okay. It's not like, yo man, I'm not saying obviously you're a monster and you're coming off an knee injury from last year, but I need to see that for me. Like, I don't, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not saying like that coach needs to see that they're in the building.
The league wants to see it.
I just think it makes natural, like it's his natural progression. Like, he's
like, I think the league wants to see it, and I remember we had this conversation too, and it was like, man, do they have the talk with him? And Bain seems like a very down to earth, like genuine dude who understands the bigger side of football. So yeah, that defensive tackle rotation is interesting, because does Horton step up? He's been banged up quite a bit, but this is his year. If he can get in there. Do we see Dalen Russell? Does Blunt stay inside, or does he go outside?
I would like him outside, though.
I do too, but he's
growing, Ben.
But he's growing, dog.
He's a man child. I totally get that. But first of all, shout out to his mom. Post great pictures of her. So proud of her son. The dude's a
Shout out to
genius,
the
by the
Blunt
way.
family, man. By the way, yeah, he's a genius. He really
He's
is,
low-key
and
genius.
that's not hyperbole. Like
Bro,
he quite
he's an
literally is a genius.
actual genius. Like
Hmm
high key, not even I'm
Like
saying high key.
deanless as a true freshman, like that
Yeah,
type of
like
genius.
already
Y'all in the chat, like
like should have been a senior as on a dean list at the University of Miami. You know what I mean? So
seriously, yeah,
what what
he's the truth.
I'd like to see him get some snaps. I think there's gonna be in this room, and this D-line, there's gonna be guys that hit the portal. It's just
It's
sheer
too packed.
numbers.
Yeah, it's just packed.
It's too full. It's too full. And I don't know if like even if you necessarily had to bring guys in, because I don't want to lose guys to them. Then you should have just kept them. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah,
because then you're bringing somebody over the young guys again. You know what I mean? Like at some point you have to start mixing in the guys that you trusted in high school and you wanted them to be a part of it. Now if they're not working hard, all those things, that's the building to the side. But like, don't let a guy go to bring in another guy. I
yeah.
don't know.
We're in agreement there.
Always on time. Always on time, my guy Mo.
Mo, yeah, I think it's going to be interesting to see who steps up on the edge. Mesidor coming back probably stymies some growth on the outside, but it gives us a veteran presence on the defense. Yeah, I was happy because the veteran presence on the defense.
Yep.
And from a selfish standpoint, as someone who likes Mezzi, I think he needs a year of playing the position he's going to play at the next level.
100%.
But I wonder, does that hurt a Booker Pickett? Does that hurt an Elias Rudolph? Does that hurt a Cole McConaughey? Marquise Life? Like, bro, we can go on for days about the talent in that room. That's going to be an interesting one. Coach Taylor's going to have to balance some egos, and they're all highly touted recruits now. We ain't talking about we hit a diamond in the rough. We talked about Lightfoot, who was top dude in Chicago. We're talking about Blunt, who was one of the top, if not the top defensive lineman in Florida. We're talking about Cole McConaughey, Mr. Alabama. We're talking about some guys now.
Yeah.
So it'll be interesting to see who steps up and who. Hayden Lowe coming for somebody neck.
Hayden Lowe, dog.
Scroggins coming for somebody neck. What Scroggins say on this very show? He said on special teams or somebody gonna feel me. Yeah. I'm gonna be on that field. He said red shirt my ass. He said I ain't here to red shirt nobody red shirt. He said if I can't get to the quarterback, I'm on special teams. I'm finna be on that field. So it's going to be interesting. They're all hungry too, bro. They all hungry. So it's going to be interesting to see who does what, who steps up. Rotational players may step up. It's going to be a fascinating storyline, that edge position.
Yes. Yeah, because we'll see. We're gonna find out. It's crazy, man. March 3rd it kicks off when we start finally getting some news about what they look like. It's football season. They said the off season's long. It's really long after spring, and that's only for like a week, really. Because then you got the spring portal, so it's really like late May where it gets long. But then you have official visits in June. So Poke, don't do that, Poke. Why would you do that? You know what I mean? Like, how rude is that? He's not sending us any. That's why I told him he's not getting egg rolls. You see,
he sent pictures to the group chat. He just ate them and didn't say. He didn't even send us pictures of the sliders. Like we didn't get shit.
We just saw him on the grill. That's fine. This is the kind of work that you get here. You heard.
I know they were amazing, bro. Because
they look great. They look fantastic on the grill.
He didn't stay to say anything.
Hey man,
he's like, I got these sliders.
He goes, look, bro. What you not getting? Let me do the voice here. I know what you not getting.
That's how I know they fire. They fire. And with the apron, if you on the barbecue grill with the apron, it's fire coming off.
Fire, dog.
It's fire.
Disrespectful. That guy.
Damn, I'm hungry as hell now.
Hey, man, y'all be good. Be easy. We'll be back on Sunday chopping it up. Joe, hope you got home safe, my brother. Y'all be good. We out of here, man. As you heard. Like, share, subscribe, and all that.
Hit that like button.